You and I, as a fundamental truth of who we are as human beings, are made for relationship. I think we know that. We see it from the moment we're born, the moment we're conceived, that no person is naturally conceived without a mother and a father to have conceived them and to give birth to them. And it doesn't always pan out in the experience of family life and broken families, but nobody enters the world alone, because necessarily there is at least a biological relationship to mother and father, and maybe even to brothers and sisters. We also know that there's great joy in relationship, and we experience that joy. There's no greater experience and greater time than being with good friends and family, quality time and good company, just sharing joy and laughter with each other. We see this in the Bible too. We see right from the beginning, and Adam is placed in the garden, he's alone. Finally, God gives him Eve, and he says, "At last, bone of my bones and flesh of my flesh." This great exclamation of relationship and of belonging. I think we also know on the flip side, the great sorrow that comes with loneliness, with lack of relationship, with lack of belonging. The feeling of being alone is certainly one of the deepest, lowest feelings that we can have. So if we know this, that we are made for relationship, they were made for this sense of belonging, and we seek that, then in many ways our trying to find meaning and fulfillment and purpose in our life hinges on relationship and belonging as fundamental to our human experience. And I think this is why Christmas is revolutionary, why Christmas changes the world. Because in the Christmas story, which we are so captivated by, Christmas revolutionizes our view of God. Because of what happens at Christmas, we find in the heart of Christianity not simply a God who is some ethereal, vengeful, maybe wrathful God in the sky who simply imposes his might on people, on creation, or imposes rules and regulations to abide by, and that we are suppressed by an almighty God. But the heart of Christianity, at the heart of Christmas, is a God of relationship, and a God who comes close to us, because the story of Christmas is that God himself sends his only Son, the second person of the triune God, comes to earth to be with us, to be one of us, so we can come to know him and to love him and experience his love. That at the heart of Christianity is a person. Not rules and regulations, but a person, the person of Jesus Christ. And relationship with him. And this is why Christmas changes the world. And this is why Christmas gives us a revolutionary idea of the meaning of life and gives us purpose. And when we consider all this together and consider our conception of God, at the heart of the God that we believe in as Christians is a God who comes close. A God who so desperately loves his people that he comes to be with them, to save us from our sin, and to become one of us so that we can know him. And that he can be with us and show to us how much he loves us. And that we ought to respond to that. That in our seeking for meaning and purpose and fulfillment, and our grasping for ultimate relationship and ultimate belonging in our lives, we find it in the God who comes close, in the person of Jesus Christ, whom we can have relationship with, and in whom we find that ultimate belonging that our heart so desperately desires.